here in this one, I'm going to teach you an easier variation of, well, it's not exactly an easier variation of A minor, but basically it's a chord you can use to replace places where you would play A minor. Alright, and this follows along with the easier variations of the 4 bass chords, where I told you that you can play G, D sustain 4, E minor 7 and C add 9 instead, where you have these 2 fingers as the root to hold on to the guitar when you only need to change these 2 fingers. So following that concept, the chord which I'm going to teach you is called A7 sustain 4. Sounds complicated, but I assure you it's not. It's as easy to play as D sustain 4, and I'll show you why. Because to play A7 sustain 4, all you need to do is, with these 2 fingers here as the root, all you need to do is take your index finger and put it there. You put it on the 2nd fret on the 4th string, and that's A7 sustain 4. This is different to D sustain 4 by, if to play D sustain 4, all you need to do is move your finger down, D sustain 4, move your finger up, A7 sustain 4, play E minor 7. See? So to play that, you can play A7 sustain 4 instead of A minor. You can generally get away with it, and it sounds pretty okay. So if I were to play a song, let's say with E minor 7, with E minor, you could play E minor 7 and A7 sustain 4 instead, where you'd go. Sounds brighter. It still has that sort of like a mood sound to it, but it sounds brighter than just playing that. Okay, so that's just an alternative, a simpler variation that you can play instead of, a simpler option that you can play instead of A minor. Okay, so in that way you can still maintain your 2 fingers here hooked, and you can go through the whole range of different chords without really moving these, and only moving these 2. I'm sorry to say that I don't really have an easier option for B minor, but I find that in a lot of cases you can just sort of skip over that chord or use E minor instead of B minor, generally. But so if you're not comfortable with using B minor and you encounter situations where you'd rather just skip it, you can do that, or you can just play E minor instead and see sometimes that sounds okay. But if you can play A7 sustain 4 instead of A minor, that's an extra thing which you can actually play. And once you know how to play D sustain 4, A sustain 4 is just doop, 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 1 finger movement away. Ta-da! And you know a new chord. How fantastic is that? Alright, so learn that, add it to your repertoire, and just to quickly recap, D sustain 4 is here, A7 sustain 4, your index finger is on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and you can use A7 sustain 4 to replace A minor, okay, when you are playing and using those 4 bass chords. Alright, so with that, add that to your repertoire and good luck, because then you have, from here you have just an extra chord which you can use, so you can learn more songs.